Hello, everybody. Welcome to this session, and we will be talking about functions again. And let me quickly give you a brief recap of what we discussed last time, and then we can continue building upon the basic definitions of functions that we understood last time. So first of all, a function can be thought of as a factory. You send in a number, something happens to the number, and then you get an output. So if I defined a simple function f of x equals 3x, then it means that I put a number into the factory, it multiplies it by 3 and it spits it out. And because of this definition, we realize that there are two kinds of sets that we need to talk about. One is the set of numbers that will be entering the factory, and the other is the set of numbers that will be leaving the factory. And if we draw a map of that, it will look like this and like this, and there are objects here and there are objects here. So the function kind of maps things like this. This is called the domain, and this is called the range. It's actually called the codomain. Let's give it a codomain. Now we realize that there are a few rules when this mapping happens. The first rule is that one element from the domain cannot be mapped to more than one element from the codomain. It has to be mapped to only one element. You cannot have one thing going to two different things. So the image of every element is only one number. That's called the image, by the way. So if a number in the codomain is an image of a number in the domain, what it means is then there is a line joining this number to this number. So then we call this number as the image of that. So technically, the image is on the codomain. The domain has the pre-images. So pre-image is the number of which the image was the image. So pre-images are on the domain. They are mapped to the images on the codomain. Okay, that is fairly straightforward. And the first definition that we agreed upon was something called a one-to-one function. Now, what is a one-to-one function? One-to-one function means no, it's not a bijection. Let's go slowly. So one-to-one function says that every number from our domain is mapped to a unique number in the codomain, and no two numbers are mapped to the same thing. So that was the definition of a one-to-one function. Now let us be very clear here. The definition of a function says that one number can be mapped to only one thing. That is there. But a one-to-one function further adds to that two numbers cannot be mapped to the same thing. So if I have here, let's say 1, 2, and 3, and let's say they are being mapped to 2, 4, and 6. If I mapped them like this is still a function, but it is not a one-to-one function because we are having two numbers being mapped to the same number. It is still a function. Remember, for it to be a function, the only rule is that one number can be mapped to one thing. That's the only rule for a function. If we had this line over here, then it wouldn't be a function because then 2 is mapped to two things. But this is still a function, but it is not a one-to-one function because we are having both 1 and 2 being mapped to 2. So let's make it a one-to-one function. Now it's a one-to-one function. Each number is mapped to one thing and no two numbers are mapped to the same thing. This is the definition of one-to-one function. And let us give a very formal definition to this one-to-one function. Now, this might be new to some of you, but I urge you to try to understand. So let's say there's a function f. There exists function. So that symbol is for there exists f of x. Okay, so let's say there's this function f of x. We have this set over here and we have this set over here, and this function is defined from the domain to the codomain. And let's say this domain is x and the codomain is y. Okay, I'm calling the domain as x. It could be anything. There might be 100 elements in my domain, there might be 20 elements, I don't know how many there are. So now we are getting into a little bit of abstract thought. We don't have a concrete example. We are trying to imagine that there is this function from x to y. Also notice that f of x is a small x, but this is the big X. So let us say that inside this big X, we have many elements. Let's say small x1, small x2, small x3, etc. We have elements in that. Let's say there are some elements in y. Let's say y1, y2, and so on. Right? We don't know how many elements there are. That is not our concern at this point. All we know is there is one set, which is the domain. We call it big X. It has a lot of numbers inside it. So like in the previous example, when I defined a function, on one side I had 1, 2, 3, and on the other side I had 2, 4, 6, right? So the function so the set which has 1, 2, 3 is my big X. The set which has 2, 3, 2, 4, 6 is the small, is the big Y. So here we are not looking at numbers. We are looking at an imaginary function that exists, and we're trying to define a one-to-one function. So let's see. So we have a set X, we have a set Y, there's a function. Now, what does a one-to-one function imply? So we have to have all these numbers on the big X mapped to some number on the big Y, right? Let us say that x1 is mapped to y1. Let's say x2 is mapped to y2. Let's say x3 is mapped to something here. And oh, sorry about that. Let's say, they're mapped somewhere randomly. We don't know what is mapped where, but we know that there is some mapping. So now let's try to define a one-to-one function. Suppose we have a number x1, okay, small x1. And let's say that f of x1 equals f of x2. So now we are saying that there is one element x1 which belongs to the big X. There's another element x2 which also belongs to big X. And we're assuming that the f of x1 is equal to f of x2. Suppose this is a one-to-one function. What does this imply? If we have f of x1 equals f of x2, what can we say about x1 and x2 if this is a one-to-one mapping? Remember, one-to-one mapping says that no two elements should be mapped to the same thing. So here we are saying, suppose f of x1 is equal to f of x2. What will happen if it's a one-to-one mapping? Let me make it a little more simpler for you to understand. Let us say that f of x1 is y1, okay, with some number. And remember, the answer has to be in the codomain, which we're going from the domain to the codomain. So we take the number x1, we apply the function f to it, and then we go to the codomain. So on the codomain, we have all these values, y1, y2, y3, y4, whatever they are. We don't know which one. Let's say f of x1 is y1. Let's also say that f of x2 is also y1. So let's say both of them are mapped to the same value in the codomain. So what does this imply? Suppose I tell you that this is a one-to-one. So one of the students has gotten an answer. Can you unmute your microphone and tell us why that is the answer? I think it was Venkat who got the answer. Can you unmute your microphone and tell us why that's your answer? So he says, okay, he's not able to do that. He's saying if it's a one-to-one mapping, this, if I tell you that f of x1 is equal to f of x2, this implies that x1 is equal to x2. That we are literally talking about the same element. That's what it implies. Let me repeat. If it's a one-to-one function and you know that f of x1 is the same as f of x2, then it only implies that x1 and x2 are the same thing. Because in a one-to-one mapping, you cannot have two different objects being mapped to the same thing. So if you're saying that f of x1 and f of x2 is the same thing, then both x1 and x2 have to be the same object. You're just giving them two names. You cannot have x2 as some other number and x1 as some other number, and both of them being mapped to the same number, y1. That is not possible. Okay, so Ruhi is saying attempt at a definition in words. In a one-to-one function, each number in the domain is mapped to exactly one unique distinct number in the codomain. This could be correct, but it makes it a little confusing, because then we will think that in a not one-to-one function, one number can be mapped to two different elements. That's what it kind of implies. Because in every function, one number is only mapped to one thing. We want to specify that two numbers cannot be mapped to the same thing. We know that one number is always mapped to only one thing. That's the definition of a function. Each element from the domain will only be marked to one element in the codomain, one unique element in the codomain actually, because it will not be mapped to two different things. So the uniqueness can get a little ambiguity. Are you talking about uniqueness in terms of the codomain or uniqueness of the domain? So the better way to think of this is like this. If f of x1 is the same as f of x2, then it implies that x1 and x2 are the same. So this is the mathematical way of saying exactly what you said. Because when you use those unique and all those words, it can create some sort of ambiguity. Because in another function, which is not one-to-one, if f of x1 and f of x2 are the same thing, then x1 and x2 might be two different things. Like for example, if you look at this function which I drew initially, we had 1, 2, 3, and we had 2, 4, 6. So here we had 1 mapped to 2, we had 2 mapped to 2, and 3 mapped to 6. So here we have f of 1 is 2. We also have f of 2 is 2. So we have f of 1 equals f of 2. Okay? But 1 and 2 are not the same. So f of 1 equals f of 2 does not mean that 1 equals 2. But if this was a one-to-one mapping, I would have, let's say, like this. If I say that f of something is the same as the f of something else, then those two things have to be the same. So if I say that f of 1 is equal to something else in this thing, then that number has to be 1, because f of 1 is not equal to anything else. Is this confusing? Are you clear now? So if I give you this function, we know it is one-to-one, and I say that f of something is equal to f of something else. Let's say f of 1 is equal to f of x, then x has to be 1, because x cannot be anything else. If x is 2, it won't work. If x is 3, it won't work. Okay. So this is one-to-one. This is the definition of one-to-one function, and I will write it in a very formal way. You might not understand the way I write it now, but I just want to give you a taste of how it would look like if you wrote it rigorously. So let me write it. You don't have to worry about this. If you understood the definition of one-to-one, you can ignore what I write now. I just want to give you a small trailer of how it might. Let's say f from x to y. Let x1, x2 belong to x. If f, actually I want this to be, okay, let me keep the capital. If f of x1 equals f of x2, actually the mathematical way to write this, oh my god, why did I, okay, just a second. So then we can say that, okay. Sorry about this, I'm a little new to this tool. Okay, f of x1 equals f of x2 implies, this is how we write it mathematically. And there's a double implication. So what it means is, if you have f of x1 equals f of x2, then it implies that x1 equals x2. And if you have x1 equals x2, then you have f of x1 equals f of x2. This is the definition of a one-to-one function. This won't happen in any other function. If you have a one-to-one function, this definition should hold. If you have this definition, then one-to-one should hold. Okay, now let's talk about the other function, which was the onTo function. Actually, let me try to write it using slightly smaller ink. Let's see if it will work out better. Maybe it will give me more space. Let me write this. So then we have a, oh, okay, this looks better. One-to-one function. Okay, it's a lot better. That is done. Now we are talking about onTo function. What is an onTo function? So the one-to-one function focuses on the domain. We are talking about numbers in the domain, and we are seeing that two numbers cannot be matched to the same thing. Now the onTo function doesn't really care what happens in the domain. It's not bothered if one number is mapped to something unique. If two numbers are mapped to two different things, it doesn't really care. All it cares about is every number in my codomain should be an image of something. That's all it says. So what it says is, if you have this if you have this, and you have numbers over here, it says that for each of these numbers in this codomain, there is some number from my domain which will lead to that. So none of the numbers in the codomain should be left orphaned. So let's say we have 2, 4, and 6 from the same example. We have 1, 2, and 3. Now I want something mapped to 2. Let me put it here. I want something mapped to 4. Let me put it here. And I want something mapped to 6. Let me put it here. So this is an onto function. It's also a one-to-one function, by the way, because everything is mapped to, no two things are mapped to the same thing. But let me add another element here, 0, and let me add 0 to 2. This is still a one-to-one. This is still an onto function. It's not one-to-one anymore because 0 and 1 are mapped to the same thing, but it's still an onto function because all the elements on my codomain have some partner on the other side. Think of it that way. If these domain and codomain get confusing, every number on the right side should have some partner from the left side. It doesn't matter if they have 2 partners or 3 partners. It doesn't matter. They should have at least 1 partner. So there should be nobody left alone on this side. That is a onto function. An onto function need not be one-to-one. A one-to-one function need not be onto. They are two different definitions. So let us now try to create an example which is one-to-one but not onto. So I'm trying to give you examples so that it's easier to follow. This is a one-to-one function because no two elements are mapped to the same thing. If you have f of something equal to the f of something else, then it only means that both of them are the same number. But this is not an onto function because 4 and 5 are left orphaned, right? They don't have any partner on the other side. Now here's my question to all of you. Can you make this same function into an onto function, or is it not possible? Can I make this an onto function? With the same numbers, I don't want to change. I don't want to change the domain. I don't want to change the codomain. So somebody's saying, yes, Vansh, can you please unmute your microphone and tell us how to make this an onto function? Vansh. I cannot hear you. Okay. Can you unmute your, okay, his mic is not working. That's okay. Anybody else has any suggestion on how to make this an onto function without changing the domain or the codomain? I don't want to change anything. I want to keep all these numbers the same. Okay, I will allow you to think about this. Let's not get into the answer now. We'll talk about it next time. So this is a one-to-one function. It's not onto. Now let's try to come up with an onto function which is not one-to-one. So what I will do is actually, let me draw a slightly different diagram here. Okay, so let's have this. This is an onto function because every number on my domain, sorry, every number on my codomain, this is the codomain, this is the domain. Every number on the codomain has a partner. 0 has 3 partners. 1, 2, and 3 are all mapped to 0. But this is not a one-to-one function because we have more than one number being mapped to the same thing. But this is an onto function. Okay. Now, can we make this into a one-to-one function? Can we make this into a one-to-one function? You cannot
It's
change.
changing the
Yes, what was that?
I was asking if you were changing the direction was counted.
You cannot change the numbers in the domain or the codomain, but you should try to make this a one-to-one function. So how can you make it a one-to-one?
Is changing the direction counted?
No, you cannot change the direction. This is a function, it's not a graph. Okay, so I allow you to think about
because we can take an inverse of the function. We
we are not
cannot take
talking
an
about
inverse of.
inverses, Shreyan. We are not talking about the inverses, nor are we talking about any changing of direction. I don't see any direction there. I'm just having a simple question. I have a domain and a codomain, and I'm mapping things in the domain to the things in the codomain. And I'm asking if with the same codomain and domain, can you map numbers to the other numbers such that no two numbers are mapped to the same thing? Okay, somebody saying make the function invalid for 1 and 2. You just make the function invalid for 1 and 2. You just do 3 is mapped to 0, 4 is mapped to 1, and 5 is mapped to 2. Well, technically you're changing the domain then, because then 1 and 2 are not part of the domain. Because domain is defined as the list of numbers that we can send into our factory. So you're saying that 1 and 2 cannot be sent into our factory because they don't have an output. Then 1 and 2 are not part of our domain anymore. That's a good answer, by the way. So let's actually do that. Let's cancel out 1 and 2. And we just make our domain have 3, 4, 5, and we are on the other side we have 0, 1, 2. This is a one-to-one function, but we changed the domain, so that was not allowed. Okay, so I will not reveal.
I think it's not possible because of the pigeonhole principle.
Yes, very good, Shan, very good, Shan, but we'll get to that a little later. So I'll allow you guys to think about this, and I want you to tell me by next time, when can you say that a function can be one-to-one? When can a function be onto? And for this, I want you to give me the answer based on only two things. That is the length. Sorry, let's not say length. Let's say using size of domain and size of codomain. I just want you to look at these two things and give me the answer as to when a function can be one-to-one and when a function can be onto. It doesn't matter what the function is, or I don't even need a concrete example. I just want you to tell me what should be the sizes of the domain and the codomain to ensure that we can have a one-to-one or to ensure that we can have an onto function. That is my question. So please feel free to think about it. Okay, if you have any questions, you
size of codomain. If the size of codomain is bigger,
it's the homework. You're not allowed to tell the answer here. Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it. You can reveal the answer maybe after the class if people are not there and you want to discuss it. But let everybody think about it. Now, let us combine the two things. So we define something called a bijection, which is very, very important. A bijection is a function which is both one-to-one and onto. As simple as that. It has to be one-to-one, it has to be onto. So basically, every number in my codomain should have a partner in the domain, and it should not have more than one partner. So it should have exactly one partner. Okay. So this is how we had started off last time, and probably gave you a little more details this time. Let us now try to give the formal definition of an onto function in the same way that we defined a one-to-one function. We don't want examples. We want to give it in an abstract way. Once again, we can use x as the domain and y as the codomain. And we can say small x1, x2, x3, and all that belong to big X. And we can say small y1, y2, and y3 belong to big Y. We want to define an onto function. This is how you define an onto function. For every y in big Y, okay, for every small y, there might be y1, y2, y3, all of those things. So for every y which is in our codomain in the big Y, we have, actually let me write it on a new page. For every y in big Y, we have an x in big X such that f of x equals y. Now, I will not explain what this means because I want you to look at this very carefully for some time and try to make sense of it. And I want one of you to explain this to me after some time. But I want you to look at it very carefully. Think about it. So what am I? I'm defining an onto function, by the way. Okay, defining an onto function. For every y in big Y, we have an x in big X such that f of x equals y. So think about this definition. So I have a question from one. She said, sir, is it necessary that in a one-to-one function number of inputs? That's a good question. I want you to think about it because I don't want to reveal more. Just think about it. So what should be the number of numbers in the codomain and number of numbers in the domain? When can it be one-to-one? When can it be onto? There is no rule about how many there should be. You can have a function where you have infinite terms in the domain, but only one term in the codomain. Let's see the function. We can define a simple function, right? Let us say that every number in the universe is mapped to the number 2. So I'll say 1 is mapped to 2, 2 is mapped to 2, 3 is mapped to 2. So then in my domain, I will have every number from 1 to infinity. But in my codomain, I'll only have 2 because everything is mapped to 2. Now this is not a one-to-one function, obviously, because there are more than one things mapped to the same thing. But it is an onto function because for all the numbers in my codomain, I have a partner there. But it has infinite partners, but it's still more than one. Okay, so let's think about this. For every y in big Y, we have an x in big X such that f of x equals y. Now this is a definition of an onto function. Does anybody want to explain what this means? Did anybody understand how this definition works for the onto function? I hope all of you understood the meaning of an onto function in terms of English. We are trying to define it mathematically. Does anybody have any answer? Okay, so what we are doing here is we're saying, so y is the codomain, I hope that's clear, and x is the domain. An easy way to remember this is in all functions we'll be using x as the domain and y as the codomain, because we can always think as x as the x-axis where all the numbers exist, and the y-axis where we plot the function values. So the y is always the codomain and x is the domain. So for every number in the domain, we try to map it to a number in the codomain. So you can think of it that way. So what are we saying? To define an onto function, we're saying for any number in y, you pick any number in y, we call it small y, it belongs to big Y. I will guarantee you that there is a number x, small x, in my domain such that if I apply the function to that x, you'll get y, which ensures that x is the partner of y for every number y. So that ensures that for all y's in my big Y, I will have a partner. It may not be the same partner. I'm saying there exists an x. I'm not saying the same partner will work for everybody. I'm just saying for every y, there is some x such that if you do f of x, you'll get y. Is this definition clear to all of you, or is it confusing? For every small y that belongs to big Y, I can find you a small x such that f of x equals y. Okay, good. And a bijection is just defined as something that is both one-to-one and onto. So we don't have to technically come up with a new definition for it. We can just say a bijection is both one-to-one and onto. And we have already defined what is one-to-one. We've already defined what's onto. So we don't have to come up with a new definition for a bijection. We could define a bijection. We can just tweak this definition a little bit. The same definition for onto, we can change it a little bit. We can say, and here comes the definition which was given by Ruhi, and we can kind of use that definition over here. So what I will do is, we have a unique x. Now this is a bijection. How is it a bijection? Because this is onto for sure, because we just refined the definition of the previous definition for onto. We just refined it, but this is also one-to-one because we have an onto definition. We want to change the definition so that it becomes also one-to-one because the bijection is both one-to-one and onto. So we are saying for every number y in my codomain, I can find one unique number x such that the f of x is that y. So that ensures that one number cannot have two numbers coming to it. There's only one number which is coming to it. So this is both one-to-one and onto. Unique x. So for every small y, there's only one number which comes to it, but you have something coming to it. So everybody has a partner, everybody has only one partner. Nobody has more than one partner. I have a very interesting question in the chat. Somebody is saying, can one-to-one be considered as a subset of onto? It cannot, because not all one-to-one functions are onto. As we saw in our example, we can easily come up with a one-to-one function which is not onto. Sometimes you can have a one-to-one function. You are not having two things going to the same thing. But that did not mean that every number in my codomain has some partner here. It did not happen. So I will use this opportunity to define you something which is called range. This is a very important definition. A range is a subset of the codomain. So range is a collection of values. So range is also a set, and it talks only about the codomain. So we are not worried about the domain, we are worried about the codomain. Range is the set of values in the codomain such that they have a partner. So if I have the, let's say 0, 1, 2, 3, and here I have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and let me make this function like this. Okay. Now we know that this is a one-to-one function because there is no one is mapped to two things. This is not an onto function because 4 doesn't have a partner. Can somebody tell me what is the range of this function? A range is the set of values in the codomain which have a partner. So can somebody type in the chat what is the range of this function? Okay, one person. Very good, very good. So it's 0, 1, 2, 3. No, it's not 4. It's not the count. It is the set of numbers. So we're not saying how many numbers. We're just saying which are the numbers. So it's 0, 1, 2, 3. That is the range of this function. So here comes a very, very interesting thing to talk about. And I think Venkat has just said that, but he messed it up a little bit. Let me correct it for him. Range is the part of the codomain which has a pre-image, correct? So pre-image is the number which brings it to it. So pre-image is the partner that I'm talking about. Image is from domain to codomain. So here in this case, all the images are the same, but images are for numbers in the domain. Pre-image means for the numbers in the codomain, which number comes to them. That is the pre-image. What will happen if my range is equal to the codomain? What happens if the range is equal to the codomain? So Venkat is saying if range is equal to codomain, then the function is one-to-one. No, this function here is one-to-one. We have a one-to-one function here, but we don't have the range is equal to codomain. Very good, very good. If the range is equal to the codomain, then it means that the function is onto, because then it means that every number in my codomain is part of the range. So what is the definition of being part of the range? It means it has a partner. It's somebody over there who's bringing the function to that. So for an onto function, the range is equal to the codomain. We don't have a word for something which is part of the domain. Like we don't have a subset of the domain because every number in the domain should have a function value. Otherwise, it will never be part of the domain. Domain is the list of numbers for which that function value exists. So I cannot put another number here and not pair it with anybody. Then it will never be part of the domain. Just like that previous problem where somebody had suggested, just get rid of those two things. Then we have a one-to-one function. We cannot do that because if we get rid of them, they are not part of the domain. So domain will only include numbers for which the function value will exist. But the codomain might have many different things, because we are defining. So sometimes I'll give you an example why this codomain can have more number of values than the range. What if I defined a function? So now we are going to get into some interesting stuff. Let's say I define a function from all real numbers to all real numbers. So here my domain is all real numbers. My codomain is also all real numbers. So I'm defining the function from real numbers to real numbers. Okay, so we can think of it as a graph. Very simple. And I say that f of x equals 2x. This is my function. So I will take every number and I'll multiply it by 2. That the function is doing that. So if I do f of 0, it will give me 0. F of 1 will give me 2. F of 10 will give me 20. F of 1000 will give me 2000. And f of minus 5 will give me minus 10. So that is what the function is doing. My first question to you is this a one-to-one function? Is every number mapped to one thing and no other number is mapped to that thing? Or can you have two numbers mapped to the same thing? Is this a one-to-one function? Good. It is a one-to-one function, because if you take a number and multiply it by 2, you get a number and no other number will make you reach there. There's only one number that can go to that number. So if I say f of 6 is 12, f of no other number can be 12, because it's very simple to find the what is that? It's very simple to find the pre-image. You just have to divide by 2. So if you find a number on the codomain, the number from the domain which brings it to that is just the half of that number, and one number cannot have two halves. It can only have one half. If you want to find out which number brings you to what is that? 5, you just have to divide 5 by 2. So 2.5 will bring you to 5. If you want to find out which number brings you to 10, 5 brings you to 10. No two numbers will come to the same. It's a one-to-one function. Is it an onto function? So can you, for every number on the y coordinate, can you assure me that there is a number on the x coordinate which brings it there? So let's say I find a number 10 on the codomain. Just see clearly from where to where this function is defined. We are talking about real numbers. I have all real numbers on my domain and I have all real numbers on my codomain. So if it has to be onto, my question is, for any number that I find in my codomain, can there exist a number in the domain which will bring it to that? Okay, for the people who are saying this is not an onto function, can you give me a number which doesn't have a partner in the codomain? Can you find me a number which doesn't even have a pre-image? Is there any real number on my codomain which doesn't have a number mapped to it? Can somebody find me such a number? 0 has a partner. 0 itself is mapped to 0. It's all real numbers, by the way. It's not natural numbers. Pi, even pi has pi divided by 2 is also a real number. So pi divided by 2 is being mapped to pi. So if you're saying this is not an onto function, you should be able to give me a number which doesn't have a partner. So now people are saying this one is onto. I'm not sure what to believe and what not to believe. I want somebody to clearly tell me, is this function onto or not onto? Does every number have a partner? Let's see. One, she's saying it is onto. Very good. So that is why I said it is real numbers to real numbers. Now I will tell you when it will not be onto. I just have to do a simple change. I will define this from natural numbers to natural numbers. This is still a function. It is still one-to-one, by the way, because no two numbers will be mapped to the same thing, but it is not an onto function, because for the number 3, I don't have a partner. There is no number in my domain which can take me to the number 3, because 3 is The half of 3 is 1.5, and 1.5 doesn't belong to my domain. So can somebody tell me what is the range of this function? What is the range? Range is the collection of values which will have a pre-image. Range is the collection of values which have a partner from the domain which will come to them. Good. The even numbers. Now, even numbers are the range. So this function is not onto, because the range is not equal to the codomain. The codomain has more numbers than the range. Remember, even if the codomain has one number more than the range, it's not onto. But in this case, it has infinite numbers which are not in the range. So all odd numbers are not in the range. Or somebody saying this is not even numbers because even also includes 0. Okay, so we can get into that intricacies. I could have included 0 as well in my natural numbers. So sometimes you can define natural numbers starting with 0. So that's fine. Let's say all even numbers starting from 2. So 0 will not be part of the range. 0 is not even part of the codomain because we are defining it from natural to natural. Let's say we're only talking about greater than 1. So all even numbers greater than 2 are part of the range, but not all numbers in the codomain are part of the range. We have odd numbers that don't show up in the answers to our functions. So why I gave this example is to tell you that sometimes you can have a function in which there are numbers in the codomain that are not part of our function at all, but you will never have numbers in the domain which are not part of the function, because the domain is defined as the set of numbers for whom the function value holds. Okay, here's an interesting question. In the previous case, when I talked about this function over here and I defined it like this, you told me that this is a one-to-one function, correct? You said that every number is mapped to one thing and no two numbers are mapped to the same thing. You also said that it's onto because you said that every number has a pre-image because you can divide it by 2. So it is a bijection, right? It's both one-to-one and onto. It's a bijection. Is this function are these two functions also bijections? So f of x equals x means I am literally taking the same number to itself. Is f of x equals 3x also a bijection? I'm taking every number to something which is 3 times. So it's one-to-one. It's also onto because I can just divide a number by 3 and get back its pre-image. So can we generalize now and say that f of x equals nx is a bijection for any value of n where n is a real number, or no? What are the numbers that this n can be which will allow me to have a bijection? We see that if n is 2, we have a bijection. If n is 1, if n is 3. If n is 0, then is it a bijection? If I say f of x equals 0 times x, would that be a bijection? No, because then every number is mapped to 0 because we're saying f of x is 0 times x. So every number f of x is 0 because 0 times anything is 0. So you have all numbers going piling to 0. So it's on
No.
to.
No, again, I missed something. What did I miss?
Hello, yes, Shreyan, can you? What happened?
Yes. What did I miss? I just missed something. What did I miss?
I don't know when you went missing, so I don't know what you missed. I was asking, can n be 0 and will it still be a bijection? If f of x is equal to 0 times x, is that a bijection? It's not a bijection because then every number will be mapped to 0. So it's not one-to-one and it's not even onto, because 0 is the only number that has pre-images. Every other number is left alone. But can n be any number other than 0, and will this still be a bijection? That's what I want you to think about. You can experiment. You can, so it's easy to check, right? Pick some random n that you want, which you feel is like a fictitious number and suspicious number which might not work, and then you check if the function is 1 to 1, then you check if it's onto. If it's both 1 to 1 and onto, then it becomes bijection. So this is what you should think about, and we'll meet next time and we'll continue the discussion. Thank you so much. I'll stay back for some time and see you next time. Bye bye. Have a great weekend.